Hi, it's Colette. Welcome to my channel, and this is the weekly tarot card for the week commencing Monday, the 10th of September 2018, and it is the Five of Swords. Now, this card in Rorik looks quite spectacular. It's got a huge sort of broken wall, the word defeat on it, broken, and a little man standing on the top of defeat, white round his body and head, looking. I don't think in this card you can actually see which way he's looking, and that may well be the point of the card. So what does it mean for you? The number 5 and the Five of Swords in particular is in the sort of middle of, looking forward, looking back, which way are you going to look kind of thing. And it always brings us to a place where maybe we have to rest or stop for a little while and see what's gone behind and what's ahead and which way we want to go with that. And it's not about defeat as such, it's about actually being ready for the next part of the journey. And yes, you may have had little defeats along the way, and there may be more defeats to come, who knows, but it's important that you just don't rest there. That wee man standing there, there's nothing there for him, just a view. So it's important that he doesn't stand there very long, and that for you may be the overall sort of generality of the card. In any area of life, think, if you've come on a journey, where are you? Stop for a little bit, think. Do you feel as though you've maybe could go further if you changed your attitude? Have you become defeated? Have you thought, well, it's safer in some way to go back the way or stay where you are rather than push forward? And it should be a place of safety. I don't want your head bashing you in. Oh, I'm not a good person, I'm defeated. Oh, I started that and I didn't finish it. This isn't the point of the cards, and it's certainly not the point of the number 5s in the tarot deck. It's about that sense of further change, and that can be a change of direction, a change of attitude, a change of everything. But what it allows you to do is have just this little breather and logically think out the next step, or have that little breather so that you feel you're ready to take the next step. And it can be a very good card if it's thought in that way. Some of the other decks, don't get me wrong, the visuals aren't so nice on it. It's, people fighting, and the Norse deck I've got shows villages behind all on fire and the Vikings going forward ready for their next battle, and I feel that's quite a wee bit fierce, but again it shows that they've had their battle and they're kind of the midway point before they see what happens next. It might not be more battles, it could actually be the total beneficial outcome of whatever journey they're on. So in general this week, try and look at your attitudes. Try and get away from a defeatist attitude if you feel it's crept up on you, and try and move forward even if you don't know what the long-term outcome is. We don't always need to know the final outcome as such. We have to have maybe a direction and a hope and a prayer and a vision, but sometimes where we end up is not totally where we thought we would be, but it's exciting and right nevertheless. So wherever you are this week, take some time to find the attitude and the strength after a wee breather to get you back on that road, to get you back to feeling that you will not be defeated in whatever is put your way. Now, if we look at it in a job or career, again, this is a card that I really push at this time. If you've gone for a job, say you've gone for a job you wanted, or a promotion, or say an application to get into the police, or this, that and the next thing, and you've been knocked back, use this card to make you even more determined to try again and to bash your way through that personal defeat. Remember, defeat isn't failure. And failure isn't even failure if you learn from it and you work with it, and it makes you a stronger and maybe even a more wily person. So this, although it says defeat on it, it's about taking any defeats you've had and saying, stuff you, I'm still moving forward. And one of the things in my life that I think has been very good for me is I've never really allowed myself to be defeated in much. I've always felt that it's worth another go. And sometimes if I didn't achieve something the first time, I would still give it a go. And, you know, it wasn't luck, it was hard work, maybe a wee bit of luck, but I achieved. So don't be put on. There's an amazing cartoon, and it's got like a miner, and he's chipping away to find the gold, and there's one wee miner is chipping away and he's about 1.5 inches away from the gold, and then there's one miner underneath that just dropped his pickfork and is heading in the other direction, meaning if he just stayed with it for another day, another week, he would have found the gold. So at work, use this to take you forward to your goals, even if you've been defeated in the past. If these goals and the direction you want to go in resonate with your intuition, resonate with who you're meant to be, then use this card not in a negative way. Oh, I'm fear of more defeat. Oh, not me, I couldn't do that. Other people could, but not me. No, you want to be, okay, for now, let's not focus on 3 more goes or 4 more goes. Let's just do it another time. Let's try. And it can bring amazing success and amazing understanding of your own strengths when you do have that success. If we look at it in health, again, it's really about keeping on with treatment. How many of us, when we have a condition and we get medication for it and it gets a wee bit better, and we stop taking the tablets a wee bit, if we're meant to take 4 a day, we sometimes take 3, and some days, after a wee while we forget it, and lo and behold, further down the line, the condition comes back with a big punch in the nose. And this card can simply say, if you see yourself drifting into not taking the medication you're meant to, or not doing the physiotherapy that you're meant to, or not looking after yourself the way that you've been told, it's like maybe someone who has a heart attack and initially is off smoking because they're terrified and they don't want to have a heart attack again, and then 6 months down the line the heart attack isn't so close, it's not such an obvious defeat to them, so they maybe just have 1 wee ciggy and then another one and another one, and that stands for many things, but just say, for an example, smoking, and they have then brought themselves facing that defeat again. So wherever you are in your health, if there's things you know that you should be doing and you have been doing, but you've just got a wee bit not as definite as you might have been in the past, I'd like you to look back and start it fresh, okay? If we look for love, those of you in a longer term relationship, again, this card can feel, you maybe have had arguments, you've maybe gone over the same ground time and time again, and maybe people aren't listening and you feel unheard or whatever. Well, rather than sort of isolating yourself up in your high horse as such, maybe it's time to admit defeat in that the way that the couple have tackled things has not worked, and try and the two of you find a different way so that you're not defeated by one person's anger or one person's sadness or one person's preconceptions. It's about finding another way to go forward so that the relationship isn't defeated, and even if it's just one last go, then why not one last go, but use this not to be defeated. It's not the best card if you're looking for a partner, because sometimes the one thing I would say on it, if you're looking for a partner, try and get rid of the the mindset of, oh, it's never going to happen to me anyway. I may as well go out and have some fun with my girlfriends or my boyfriends or whatever, but trying to lose the mindset of nothing works for me anyway, because believe me, that will defeat you. The universe will just give you it straight back, and believe me, nothing will work for you if you get all dressed up, ready for going out, people to meet, new things to discuss, but nah, I just don't know why I bother. Never going to work for me anyway. Of course it's not. You know, you need to overcome that sense of defeat. Now, with money and finances, it can be a good card because, sometimes we work with finances, we move about and we move things, rob Peter to pay Paul, and sometimes just an extra wee push can get us heads above water, if that's maybe making a little bit of extra income, or if it's maybe doing some overtime. Sometimes we all feel we're just skating along the surface. And this card with the non-defeatist attitude can say, right, well, okay, there's an opportunity to make $20 more or pounds, right? It's not much, but I'll go for it. And so, although it can look quite a negative card financially, it actually can lead to the first step to accepting that little bits of money can actually all build up, and it's more to do with the mindset with money. If you say, I've got the chance to make 20 quid, but it's not worth it, then the next time a chance to make 20 quid comes, it will definitely not be worth it. And the third time, but if you take the opportunities, by the third time you would have £60 or dollars in your pocket. It's about a mindset. It's about accumulating even through small steps, and not having the defeatist attitude that goes, no, I'm not doing that. I'm just not doing that. So, it's a weird wee card. It certainly has an element of light in it, in the Rorig deck, which a lot of the decks it doesn't have. It's certainly more negative, but Rorig works with, that wee man's sort of, his attitude. What's he going to do next? Is he going to go backwards to defeat? Is he going to jump forward to the new ways and another chance? Or is he going to stay stuck where he is, where he'll be cold and hungry before long, and certainly won't want to stay in that big wall all night? When the Berlin Wall come down, which this card was out beforehand, I think there was some precognition there by Carol Rorig, but maybe it wasn't. I'm getting my dates mixed up. Anyway, don't really know, because I'm rubbish at history, but I do know that I've always thought of this as the Berlin Wall coming down, and certain people ran over into the West and experienced it. Others stayed where they were because they were too scared, and others went up onto the wall and had a wee think about it and then made a good choice. So it's up to you, but go forth this week, no defeatist attitude. So, if you like the way that I read the tarot, my book Novice to Pro, Tarot Novice to Pro in one book, is on all the Amazons, and I think there's a wee promotion coming up on it in October, so I'll let you know about that one nearer the time. So many blessings, and I hope you like my new background. I've got quite a few now, but this one's up for autumn because we're in autumn. The trees are starting to turn outside and it's absolutely lovely, but oh, I do love my autumn. And so take care and give me a thumbs up, and just, I don't know, send me a wee nice thought or a smile, and notification squad, let's get yous all in again. I sometimes forget, but I love yous all. So take care now, and I'll see you next week for next week's weekly tarot card. Bye now.